Hey everyone, welcome to the RMA podcast. Today we're doing fall 2016 impressions. Yeah! It's actually the worst season ever, guys. Anime died after fall.
Not watching any fall season anime, but I already know it's the worst.
Someone should tag
Guys,
Paladin Madi in the comments.
Every current season of anime is the worst season of anime to have ever existed.
But also
guys.
the best.
But this one especially.
Honestly.
This is especially worse.
Anyways, let's go through our lineup. So we got me, Dude Man. We have a special guest, Cinerus.
Hello, everyone.
How's your day?
Yeah.
That's me. It was pretty good. I saw Kisu.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Fucking sweet.
That's nice. We got Smurf Rock Rune.
Hey,
Smurf, how was your day?
it was alright. I watched my Saints lose. So
Ha! Get ready.
Good. Hey, Bree's got me good points for fantasy though, so
he did well.
I can't really
you
complain.
did well.
That's true. We also got Shocking.
Yo.
Sha, how was your day?
It was good. I watched my Eagles take down the Vikings. So I guess Bradford isn't as good as a quarterback as we think he is.
Okay, this is a football podcast now.
Whoops.
Sports.
That's okay.
Maybe a football anime would
Bradford
make this
isn't
season
as
better.
good as r/NFL thinks
we
he
should
is.
watch. So we should all talk about Ice Shield 21. Basically, is what we're talking about.
And finally, we got Becker, who hasn't really watched anything, but he's
I
here
have
'cause we love
seen
him.
one episode of Izetta, but I'm just here for the shits and giggles.
He wouldn't go away.
Just here so you don't get fined.
Honestly, yeah, Smurf's right. I wouldn't leave.
God damn it. Anyways, let's
Wait,
get
you're
right
not
into
gonna
it.
ask me how my
So,
day is? What the fuck?
Dude, man.
Wow.
Dude, man. Hey.
See how it is. It's fucked
Anyways,
up.
let's start. So first show we're going to talk about is Drifters. This is actually a really interesting one. It's made by I'm pretty sure this is a new studio made
It's
just
called
for
the
this.
Hood's Drifters Studio.
Are they from
yeah,
the hood?
yeah.
Jeez.
Accurately named because it's a poor man's Helsing Ultimate.
Yeah, but what's interesting about this new studio is the art style is very unique. I think it's sort of like a blend between the art style from Keijo with like another
With
one, but I can't
with
really
Helsing?
define it. Yeah,
Let's-
Because
yeah.
it's the same mangaka as Helsing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you didn't
I
know.
didn't even realize, guys.
Literally Helsing.
That's why it looks so much like Helsing.
Jeez.
But it does have a little bit of a Kaiji look to it too.
Yeah, it's very like
Very pointy.
detailed lines. Very
Yeah, it's got-
pointy is a good
It's
word.
pretty interesting. It's got like
Do we
I
call
don't
it-
know if it looks raw, but it's like kind of rawish feeling. I don't
Do
know.
we call it
I
edgy?
wouldn't call it raw. Like, at some points, it feels really, like, over-processed almost.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, in, like, a lot of the fight scenes when Toyohisa is just being the craziest badass ever to grace the anime screen, there was a lot of effort put into, like, every single special effect.
That's really understandable.
Yeah.
I think they know what the target audience wants out of this anime. Like when I started watching this, I thought the action was great. Everything else,
Pretty subpar.
Yeah, I'm like the first episode starts with like it just starts with a fight scene, and I remember thinking like, wow, this fight scene.
One of the coolest
like,
opening scenes
the fight
I've
scene
ever
is
seen,
really
though.
cool. I don't care about any of the characters. I don't care about why they're fighting or anything. Like the only thing I cared about was just how good it looked visually. But other
I
than that,
feel no
I
context.
didn't care.
Yeah. I actually thought the first episode was kind of bad. I was talking with Smurf about this, and I actually dropped the first episode with like no plans of watching the series because I realized I didn't care about the fight scene that much. And then they start like in the second part when he starts interacting with people, and they had like their like terrible comedy.
Like really
That's, like,
weird,
super
like
awkward.
really weird chibi comedy, just all the time.
Yeah.
Comedy is
Yeah.
easily
And
the
it's
worst.
also very
I just want to say
specific to
Helsing had the same
Japan.
problem. Was like this like weird chibi comedy.
Yeah,
Really?
it's like it has no place.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I've
did.
never heard anybody complain about that in Helsing though. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I could see it though.
Yeah, it was like kind of weird. I was like not feeling the first episode, and then I kept hearing such good things about the second episode, so I picked it up again, and I thought the second episode was like significantly better. And
Really?
yeah, I thought like the first episode was kind of weak.
I liked the first episode more than the second, but I thought the third episode was definitely the
The third
best.
episode was so good.
Yeah, third episode was hype.
Yeah.
I
Except
like
for
the second.
the beginning of the third episode when the guy like peed his pants because
Yeah,
because
Oh.
comedy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like yo, I'm
comedy
old. I
moment,
think myself.
guys.
And then the end was like a bunch of like weird comedy too. I don't like how like Nobunaga's hair keeps like turning into tentacles during
Yeah.
comedy
That's-
scenes. It just doesn't make any sense. But the whole middle section was just like solid action.
I think
Oh,
I
yeah,
liked.
yeah.
I think
Great.
And as a history nerd, this show is so much fun to watch. Just to like see the interactions between Hannibal and Scipio Africanus.
And Billy the
Yeah.
Kid fighting with Joan of Arc and
I was a show of
No,
historical figures.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm told that's not Billy the Kid; it's the Sundance Kid, and the
Oh,
other guy he's with
that
was
makes
Butch Cassidy.
Oh,
that
okay,
makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, I only heard them call
Billy
him
the Kid's
Kid.
like a serial killer.
So I was just like, oh,
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, I think what's part of what sold me on like the second episode that we got to see a bit more of in the third episode was like once they have like solid interactions that aren't like chibi comedy. Like in the second episode when we have spoilers, obviously, they have like that elf town getting like wrecked by that douchey night guy, and then they come in and save them. It kind of gives them some good pretense for them being badass, which makes me want to root for them more.
Yeah.
And then we got to see that more in the third episode where it's like, I don't know why I want them to be like the Dark Knight and his orcs and shit, but I want them to win. So like
Was
you're
that-
really rooting for them in that car chase to like get out of the town and like go kick some ass in the future.
What was it?
Like-
The Black King who wears a white robe.
Yeah,
Oh jeez, wow, what an edge lord.
pretty edgy. He's pretty edgy. So we got some good action
Dude,
scenes
who let
and
dogs out?
We'll just cut that out.
Um,
No, the audience isn't even gonna hear it.
Okay, I think the action scenes are good, but at the same time, like what you said about that rooting for them, I feel like that's kind of like pretty mediocre because it's a very black and white issue. Like
yeah.
there's zero thought put into it. It's just like these are bad guys.
Yeah.
They do bad things.
Yeah.
These are good guys.
You
but
have evil Joan of
and they
Arc,
do good things.
evil
So, you know,
Evil Joan of
Anastasia
Arc is
Romanov.
Evil Joan of Arc is kind of weird because she was like I don't know, like a saint-like figure, and now she's edgy as shit, and she wants to set everyone on fire because she was set on fire. Kind of
no,
It's-
that's pretty weird
it's
actually.
strange.
really weird given her background. But
She needs
I
to
mean,
get over
maybe
it,
they'll
honestly.
explain it.
She
I
should
kind of
just
enjoyed it
accept
because I've been wondering to myself, as like a huge Nasuverse fan, how many crossovers there are going to be between the Drifters universe and Servants in the Fate franchise. And not only do they have Joan of Arc, they have evil Joan of Arc in both.
It looks like Caster
Oh.
just got lost in the wrong universe. Like he should be in Drifters and not Fate Zero.
Right.
Probably.
Yep.
What else?
Oh,
okay.
I think the best part of Drifters is the opening song. It sounds like
mean-
it should be in like some Tony Hawk game or like BMX. My dog's going crazy.
Nah, 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 nah.
But it sounds like it's like belongs in like a BMX game soundtrack. I couldn't stop listening to it earlier today. I was like preparing the thread for 3x3 Thursdays, and I listened to it on loop like 30 times.
Oh, wow.
And they've got like the Vikings' mouths moving in the background,
Yeah.
along with the na na.
That's
na,
like one of my
na,
favorite
na.
things in openings is when the characters on screen sing along with the lyrics. I always
Yeah.
love that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to say something. It was just this is a really minor thing, but when in the first episode, seeing the guy with the ponytail, I thought it was a girl at first.
Yo, same. I
was
thought
just
I had to
like,
check
oh,
on that.
jeez.
I had to check that, and I was like, oh, it's just a dude. Oh, but he's a dude.
It's a trap.
Classic.
The super pretty
It's
bishy.
just a trap.
Oh, it's just a trap. So
I couldn't tell from the voice alone because it sounded like a woman could have voiced
Isn't
it.
it a
I
Yeah.
literally- let me. Is it a woman?
I think it might be.
Let
God
me
damn it,
see.
Drifters.
It is. It is.
Rip.
Oh my god! No
that makes
wonder.
a lot of sense then.
Fucking hell! Why do you do this, Japan?
Every
You don't draw a guy and then have a woman voice it.
I would
just
like
for
it
the,
so
you
much
know-
more if they were a female. I wish they were a female character. That would make it a lot more interesting. Like, have one of the main three be a female badass, like, archman, and then, like, archwoman, and then just, like, make it a lot more interesting
think-
instead of, like, this weird trap dude.
I think that what you were looking for was
I mean,
Archer.
the issue is then you need to find like a badass
What-
female archer from Japanese history, and I'm not sure such a thing exists. Although
I
I'm hardly
can't
an expert.
imagine.
They can make
What
it
is
up.
he? What is he? I mean, what is he from the like the?
I mean, you could
12th
go
century?
phone Nasu and just gender bend someone.
Good,
Oh, that's
but
true.
but
Like in the Fate universe, Oda Nobunaga is a girl.
Really?
Yep.
I feel betrayed. I feel pretty betrayed. What has Nasu gone too far?
yes.
Is not Nazi
Yes.
wasn't involved
Yes.
in this, right?
No.
No.
Oh, I thought
No,
I just wanted
but-
to check to make sure.
Although, funnily enough, the trap character is named Nasu, so
Hey.
But I
God,
assume that this
fucking
has
damn it.
some inspiration from Fate. Like,
Probably.
it
I
probably
think because the
does.
basic
Probably.
premise is literally like heroes from history fighting. So
Yeah. But it's not so much over
can
like a
see.
like in Fate, it's heroes from history are summoned to fight with like a mage for
in the
Yeah,
real
with
the
world,
Grail,
and
or
in this,
prize.
it's
and in this it's
heroes from history are taken from the real world
yeah.
to this fantasy
With
world.
no-
it's not like they're taking.
They're definitely
I mean, they're
taken.
about to die.
That's
They're about
what-
to die,
yeah.
and then
But
they're
there
just
doesn't seem
kind
to
of
be
like
any
show
kind
up.
of like goal. It's just like you're in this world now.
Okay. Hear me out. I think it's literally just a game between like two people, and that's it. That's all they're
I
there
think
for.
that was pretty much confirmed in the second episode, though. Like the guy at the desk, and then the lights started going
Yeah,
out.
because it seems so
zub sound effect.
inconsequential to them that it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, here's my team. I got a sniper. I got a swords guy. I got a lance guy. What do you got? Joan of Arc wants to burn shit. Oh, fuck. Fucking cheater. You
Yeah,
guys
I
want to say
Sorry,
something?
I
about
think
that
to
before
sum
I sound
up,
awkward
Drifters-
as
I'm more
fuck?
distracted by everybody upstairs
Holy
in my house
shit.
just making it just a ton of noise for no reason all of a sudden.
Oh, God.
Sounds like
Yeah.
Drifters is one to pick up if you haven't already.
Yeah, definitely the action scenes are great.
Yeah.
So,
I think basically to sum it
Just
up
watch
is Drifters is the most badass thing I've ever seen, and that's literally all there is to say on the subject.
I think I have some more badass things to show you, but we can say it's most badass of the season for sure.
we'll
I don't
just-
know.
we'll just
I kind of
continue.
liked the Japanese like Zero Fighter dog fighting with dragons. I think that's kind of hard to top.
It's true. It is.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. You know, there's a lot of years left in anime, TBH, even though, anime is already over.
But it'll all be worse than this because it's just getting worse. Speaking of worse, what's our next show?
Oh god, this is a fucking terrible one. Occultic 9.
Occultic.
Occultic 9.
I'm just watching it because there's a semicolon in the title 9, which is
Pretty much.
probably
Guys, isn't this Steins Gate? Isn't this Steins
Well, it's the same universe, isn't it?
no,
No,
this
it's
one's
not.
actually not in
It's
it.
not.
I don't even think this is the same creator. It's just someone who worked on Steins Gate made it.
Yeah.
Like a
No,
side
it's
dude
it's
made
it's
it.
the same like group kind of,
Yeah, but not
and
this-
but it's not from the same series. It's from a different series in a different world, but almost the same title for that.
the literal
It's
same, not
weird.
same show. So I think the first episode, based on the reactions, got very polarizing reactions from either the worst first episode of all time to, it was actually pretty decent. Like, that seems to be the range. And I think we've all checked it out. So where do you guys stand on that?
I haven't watched it.
Okay, so
That's different. That's unique.
I told people
I saw the first.
it's very unique. Yeah, I have the most unique opinion here. I haven't seen it. I was actually really iffy on it from like a long time ago, and I told my friends like, watch it and then tell me how it is. And then after the first episode, they were like, "God, that was awful," and I was like, "Okay, I'm not watching."
Decision
You
made.
saved yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because the first episode, pacing hell, like I felt like I was going at a mile a minute, and it kind of bothered me, especially since they introduced so many characters in such a short span of time.
They spent like half the time blowing through like 6 different characters and not explaining anything about any of them.
Yeah.
And then the other half of the time was the watermelon tits girl electrocuting the main character over
Oh yeah,
and over again
and
for no
don't forget
reason.
jumping in slow motion.
Yeah.
Can't
The slow
gotta remember
space
that
part.
scene.
I think there's a
Oh,
one part
God.
where there's like the like lolly fortune teller who can communicate with the devil or something. She found someone's like scalp in her mailbox, and I think that was pretty much me because it pretty much felt like I was getting scalped while watching this first episode. So I'd say it was like I'm definitely on the side that like this was terrible and I wanted to drop it, and then everyone peer pressured me into like, no, you got to finish it because it has a semicolon in the title.
And you're
And
the
then-
Steins Gate girl. You have to watch everything that has a
I
semicolon.
have
in the
to.
title.
It's not even made by Steins Gate, but if there's a semicolon, I'm probably watching it. So it's
Okay.
so, and then
But now the real question, how many of you have seen the 3rd episode?
I have not seen the 3rd episode, but I have seen the
Am I
second
the only
episode.
one?
I watched it.
You did watch it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I thought in the first episode, the ideas that it presented were interesting, but the execution was absolutely terrible. The second episode was a little bit better, and then the third episode was actually amazing. Like, everything about it was so good.
I thought it was all right. They went to a lot of, they actually slowed down a lot and went to, backstory and stuff and explained a lot of things more in depth, which was great. To say that it kept my interest is going a bit far, though. I'm still kind of iffy on everything that's been happening, just because of the first impression that it made on me with its first episode, and I think that's why it has such a low score on Mal right now, even though it's very popular, just because of that first episode. Impressions are important. I don't know what happened during the production that they decided that, okay, we need to tell these guys everything about these characters in one episode so we can get to the rest of it. I feel like that was the wrong choice if they were ever deciding that.
Definitely the wrong approach. Because I don't remember anything from the first episode, except that.
I don't even remember their names.
I don't know anyone's
names. I still don't know their names.
Yeah.
I know the main character is Gamotan, but that's the only one.
Oh, that's only because that girl, the
screamed
Tits
it
girl,
over
keeps
and over
saying
again.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know who Tits girl name is. It's just
she doesn't need a
girl.
name at this point. We don't need. Some people don't need names when nicknames describe them perfectly.
I think
she's also had about 30 seconds of screen time in episodes 2 and 3, so that probably contributes to them being better.
She also has a trillion fan art now on Donbaru, just because.
Oh my god,
she's such a unique
I'm not surprised
character.
by that at all.
You know you fucked up a character design when you have a character whose tits are bigger than the Keijo characters. You they don't goof.
To be fair,
or not.
In Keijo, they're not ridiculously big.
Exactly. Exactly.
Pretty big though. But
Keijo is a tasteful sports anime. That's why
it is very serious. Serious business.
Oh jeez. Okay. I think Occultic 9 is still something interesting to watch and keep watching, but as to how it pans out, I'm still pretty iffy on that. I don't think I'm gonna drop it, but it's still so
yeah, I wouldn't start recommending it to anyone, but it has definitely regained my faith in it after episode 3. And it's now off the table of potentially going to drop this.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
So we'll have to see where it goes. Right.
That's pretty much me.
Honestly,
I'm gonna wait till the end and then see what people have to say about it to decide whether or not I can bother watching it.
Even if it's bad, I'm gonna tell you it's good to troll you into watching it.
Well, the thing is, I'm not gonna be listening to only you. I have other people to talk to about it.
Yo, I'm getting everyone in. Everyone's in on the joke. Everyone tells Smurf it's good, even if it sucks.
Yo, Smurf, Occultic 9's good.
Oh, it's good?
It's like JoJo, but with a semicolon.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, there are totally stands in it. Trust me.
Yeah, I see. What kind of stands are there?
Cool stands.
The dead brother
Strong
stand.
The
stands.
dead brother stand.
Huge tit stands.
Yeah.
So like Tusk or something? Sorry,
Yeah, that's getting into manga spoilers.
No, it's not a spoiler, but it's really far in the manga.
I'm gonna cover my ears.
Okay. I think one problem with Occultic 9 is that it did the multiple people and they all link together and they're all going to end up meeting each other at a certain point, which is something that you see in a few other series, specifically Baccano and Durara. But Baccano and Durara are done by the exact same author, right?
And did it kind of right. They didn't overwhelm you with information in an episode. They kind of gave you glimpses and then spread it out.
So I actually had this discussion on Reddit earlier today or yesterday about, there was a thread asking what the best show was for introducing a large cast in one episode. It might have actually been inspired by Occultic 9, now that I think about it. Probably. But I thought Baccano did it best because the OP had everyone's names.
I would disagree that it's Baccano.
Really?
Because the first episode of Baccano is really hard to follow.
Plot-wise, though. But it tells you who the characters are.
I would agree that the opening
No,
is
I don't think it does. Because the first episode
the first episode's very iffy. You always have to preface it with yo, the first episode's weird, but just keep with it. The first episode,
because it's the old guy and the little girl in the newspaper office talking about who they think the main character of the story is.
Yeah.
And it cuts to, it doesn't even have a story. It just shows you these characters doing something. but doesn't tell you anything about.
No, I felt that I get described. I mean, we're getting the Bakuno podcast now, but
It
I felt
gives
like
them
they did a good job where
personalities.
It's like I get showed Isaac and Mira, and it's like that's a quirky duo, got it. And then it's like, and here's Slizzard or Sillard or whatever
Definitely
his name is.
Slizzard.
Sillard.
And it's
Let's
like,
go with Slizzard.
and it's like, oh, this is a creepy old evil guy. Got it. I understand it. And it's like, here's Spiro. It's like, oh, he's a cool guy with a hat who fights crime. Apparently, that's cool.
Oh
Main
my
character.
god.
So I felt
Yeah, I
like
think
it did a good job of basically
Yeah,
not
ish.
like super explaining them all to you, but like giving them all quirks that you can like easily recognize.
I think it's really
That's
tough
fair.
to do, which is why even something like Bacano that does it the best out of the genre isn't even considered a great first episode. Like, I don't
I
know.
would say Fate Zero probably does it best in the first episode.
But Fate Zero is also like not known for having.
It's
a good
also an
first
hour
episode.
long.
Yeah, people,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's an
that's
hour
true.
long, and it's a lot of exposition. And I don't remember. I remember going into the first episode not remembering that much. So I think
Also, the Fate Circle Jerk probably helped people like keep it with it long enough to actually like.
Because you recognize most of
Oh,
the characters
hey,
already.
look, it's a blonde girl with a big sword. That must be Saber. Everyone's
Yeah,
favorite servant.
because fan art everywhere of her.
But I think it's really tough to do, and I don't think Occultic 9 did a good job. But it has the rest of the season to let us down or prove us wrong. So
Oh
we'll
yeah,
see.
definitely.
I'm leaning
We're already
towards
on
Yeah,
the
West.
we'll
train
see.
now. If you finish the first
We'll see what
episode, you might as well keep with it.
Okay, let's move on to our next anime.
That doesn't let us
This
down.
is actually my favorite of the whole season. Probably anime of the century for me.
Not same.
Girlish number. Oh,
Girlish
what
Number,
a Chinese
great.
cartoon.
I'm a fan of it.
Fantastic.
I'm always interested in shows that show the industry. Like I love Shirobako, I love Bakuman. I haven't seen actually that many, but I guess I've seen the best. But Girlish Number, it shows like the other side of voice acting, where it doesn't really glamorize it. It just kind of shows like the gritty, like
It's-
how
It
much
is
of a,
snarky as fuck.
fucking-
like how
It
much
is
of a
so
bitch,
snarky.
how much of a bitch like snobby voice actors can be.
And that
Oh
you
my
have like
God,
the one
yes.
production dude who's like talking with the light novel author, and he's like, "Yeah, no one really cares about like what's actually in the light novel. We're just gonna kind of do whatever we want," which I feel
Holy
like
shit.
this happens a lot of times in anime, and we get to see that.
Yeah. It's fantastic though. I'm a big fan. I mean, I was a big fan of it just because I heard who the author was. Because he wrote, it's Watari. He wrote Oragaru, so you can go ahead and trigger me with that.
Is that why you like it? Is that
I
why?
would never do that. That would be mean. That would be distasteful.
Wow. Really? Jeez. Okay. But yeah, he is someone who's excellent at writing these sort of self-deprecating industry-related things. He wrote a ton about how shitty light novel authors were in Oragaru, even though that wasn't the main focus at all. He just wrote it as an aside because he wanted to say how terrible. No, I'm not even joking. Oragaru was originally written because he saw Hanagai.
Origami
Right.
is a light novel, right?
No, yeah, it is.
Okay.
He read Hanagai.
Haganai?
Right? I don't have. Yeah, Haganai. He said this was shit. I'm gonna write something better, and he did. It became the most popular light novel 3 years running. It beat Index as the most popular light novel, which
Doesn't
is
take
really
much.
hard to do.
People
No,
love their
yeah, no,
index.
no. For light novels, that's actually really hard to do because it was insanely popular for so long, and it has so many volumes out. Like it has such a dedicated fan base, and it managed to beat it just because it was good. Because he wrote it with like Japanese words above like a kindergarten level. It was insane. It was amazing.
So I've described
And
The
Origami
boy.
as to a friend as the author hated light novels and decided to just prove to everybody how easy they were to write.
Yeah. Then it became popular, and he was like, "Oh,
And then did it.
okay."
And so I like that Girlish Number's kind of like he's basically like, oh, like I think it's time to show people what the voice acting industry looks like from the inside. And then he does it.
Yeah.
I do
And
like how he makes the light novel authors just look like complete losers.
Yeah,
Meek,
like the dude
pathetic
can't even
fucks.
talk above a whisper.
God.
He's like, guys, like the like character
No,
designs
that's
don't
not
look good. They're like,
really-
yeah, so we're going with
That's
that.
not really
Like,
exactly what I
Or he makes them like all really like fat otakus. Ah, jeez.
I don't know. The one they're working
Yeah, I
with
wonder
is
which one
actually
he's-
kind of thin.
No, yeah, but the one,
The first
in
one
the
they
first
met, yeah,
episode
was just like this fat slob.
fat, disgusting
Yeah.
otaku.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez. It makes me curious. Which one is he self-inserting into?
Chitose.
If any?
He's
Awesome.
self-inserting into himself.
That's
Hence the
because
self.
he's writing
He's
above
not
the
a character in
kindergarten
that
level.
world. He's
Really
above
deep.
all that.
Yeah,
But,
but the main girl, Chitose, she's pretty great. She's been like, she's so
so
snarky,
She is.
savage.
She's amazing because she's her personality is that of like a real life girl. So terrible.
I do like how
It's actually crazy.
I love how she
Savage.
is like out loud trying to be friendly. Like, I remember like she met with like
She's
one
putting
of,
on
like,
a facade.
She met with like one of the like the big voice actresses,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh, it's so nice to meet you, and the other voice says, yeah, it's so nice to meet you too, and then like it like shows like Chitose's like inner thoughts. She's like, yeah, I know you don't care about me. You're just putting on an act. Like it's just like it's so like that's exactly how it is.
Yeah, that was pretty accurate. It's been pretty interesting though that we've seen like over the course of like the 3 episodes that have aired. It seems like people have been kind of more torn on on their opinions of her because I think the 3rd episode really brought it to light where we have she's kind of like thinks she's hot shit because she got chosen to be a main character in this role, and then you get to subtly see that like she's not as good as she thinks she is. And no one's coming out and saying except like, "Yo, you're fucking sucking and you're holding everyone back."
Well,
But they do a great job of
Before-
showing it.
Before we go any further, I just want to talk about that. How amazing it was to hear her shitty voice acting.
Because you never see
She
shitty
had-
voice acting, right? You never like what is shitty voice acting? That's it. Like we got an
It
example
was
of
like,
that.
oh my god. Okay.
You have to give
It
props
was-
to the
it was
voice actors
exact same
for doing a
voice.
really good job acting well,
Terrible.
doing a good job of
Oh my
acting
God.
badly.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like that one
So
scene from
meta.
that really shitty B movie where it's like the troll's eating people, and he's like, "Oh no, it ate her, and now it's
And
gonna
now it's
eat
gonna
me."
eat me.
Yeah, that was
Like
pretty
it
much
was
it.
that level.
Hot reference.
It was so terrible. And then they tell her, "Hey, can you change it up a bit?" And she does the exact same voice, and it's just
Yeah.
like, oh,
And they're like, yeah, that'll good job, we got it. And like
Yeah,
we
no,
just
like,
like
go
you
with
can't
it
do
because
shit
they're
with
like,
this.
"Fuck it."
she's awful.
And then it gets great because then they say, "Oh, just act like the people you've heard doing the same type of character. Just copy them." And she does that, and they're like, "Holy shit, she improves so much." Nailed it.
Yeah, I like how then they actually do show like an actual improvement for her.
Yeah, but it's depressing because the actual improvement comes from her watching
Make yourself as generic
really
as possible.
shitty generic horror
Like battle harem,
anime
yeah.
shows. Yeah, like you could probably find like a bargain bin full of them, and that's what she probably did, and
That's
then
what it
just
looked like.
watched a
She
few. and
didn't
was
have
like,
the actual boxes. She had like those replacement boxes they use at like GameStop.
"Oh yeah, she did."
Is
watched a bunch
the
of
anime
DVDs.
that she's voice acting for like a shitty battle harem?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
she's in
It's a
the-
very
okay.
no. It's not about harem. It's a fantasy harem. So
It's a fantasy
like
battle
ReZero, but shit.
You
Well,
can't-
that's
You
okay.
can't just call ReZero a harem. See,
I'm not gonna swing for
you're
the.
gonna upset a lot of people.
Fine. Konosuba, but shit. Okay,
Okay,
point is, it was a generic like fantasy world self-insert shit.
pretty much.
The
just,
best
like,
part is
so-
they show like a preview for it, and it's like they've like not finished this preview, and they're like, yeah, whatever, just show it. And it's like the shittiest animation with like pretty much stick figures
Oh
in
my
this
God.
battle, and then they show like a bat scene episode, and it's like perfectly detailed, and then they go back to a fighting scene, and it's like stick figures jumping off shit. It was great. It's like
So
and,
the studio
and the
that-
audience
Oh,
ate it up.
jeez.
The audience was like cheering nonstop for that.
the studio that makes Girlish Number is Dio Media, who they
Yeah.
aren't known for like the best looking shows out there. Like they made like Kantai Collection, they made Mayuiga,
Yeah, nothing amazing.
They made-
so-
They made
Magical
made a-
Boys, Binan, Coco, Boy,
I think
Boy.
the biggest show they
Love.
made was Assassination Classroom.
No,
No, that was
That was
Lurch.
Lurch.
No, they didn't do that.
Oh, wrong one.
No, they haven't done anything of note. The last one that they did last season was Honda-kun, and that was about it.
Before that, they did Mayuiga, which I think most people here would.
Yeah.
Most people listening would know.
So nothing
So-
really amazing, but
when they were showing like the PV for the show, I honestly couldn't tell if they were doing it bad on purpose or if they just or if that was just
I
them.
think
Like
I think it was on purpose.
I think it was had to be on
I-
purpose.
Yeah.
I
like
think
that.
so.
Because there's
Apparently,
the difference
from what
between
I
the two scenes.
That's
Like
true.
the one scene
From-
actually looked good and the rest of it looked bad. So I think that was definitely on purpose.
from what I heard, all of that whole PV was made by
I
one
believe
guy.
it.
Like they just told this one guy, hey, we're gonna do a really shitty PV. We'll give you like a couple days. Here, draw some stuff. It's okay. It can be at like 2 FPS. I mean, no one's gonna care.
Here's your copy of MS Paint.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just go to town.
It did kind of look like some of those MS Paint like OP parodies.
Shout out to that Gintama OP that's done in it.
Gintama would be best one.
Oh jeez. Oh yeah. So the actual show that they're voicing in Girlish Number, right? It's the plot is the hero has like the main girl who's voiced by Chisote as his slave, and then she's a tsundere too. It's so generic, it hurts.
But it's a lot of fun if you just like. She reminds me the main character reminds me, if you've seen like Humanity Has Declined. She reminds me of Watashi a bit. She's really like kind of cynical and has like some snarky inner thoughts, but isn't really snarky outwards to people.
Well, yeah, gotta keep up appearances and stuff.
Right. Unless she's talking to like her manager, then she's snarky.
Yeah, who's also her brother.
Is it her brother?
So, yeah, it's
Didn't
her brother.
Even know that.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah,
really
that's
tell.
that's why she's snarky with him, because
he knows
it's not like he's gonna do anything.
Yeah, check
probably
it out
got
if you want to
some
hear
good or
like
something.
if you want to see like behind the scenes voice acting, or if you just I think it's like the best show of the season. I'm really liking it.
It's really solid. I will say though that there will probably end up being some drama later on. I've seen hints of it in just like the first few episodes, like subtle moments, not really anything to.
You think it'll be genuine drama or kind of like half-baked drama?
You know, that's a word I don't appreciate you using. Just saying. Oh, God, fucking okay, but I think it's definitely going to be a really solid show. I really enjoyed the self-deprecating humor of the industry. The fact that he shits on light novel authors, even though he himself is now a light novel author, it's great.
It's fun.
So everyone should check it out if they're not checking it out already. Definitely one to pick up.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Kiss Him Not Me.
This show's great.
Ooh.
This is my shit. I think this is my favorite like non-sequel of the season. This one I picked up because someone told me the premise, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds kind of funny," but I wasn't sure if like the Fujoshi
premise
aspect
sounds
would
like
be
the
kind
best thing I've ever heard.
It's so great.
So it's like a parody reverse harem.
Yeah, and I think it
Yeah.
makes fun of a lot of weeb tropes and like Fujoshi tropes.
Yeah,
it's
so
definitely like being self-deprecating.
So for those, I feel like the show's really underwatched. I don't
Very
feel like very many
Probably
people, I don't feel like
is.
very many people are watching it. I mean, it doesn't help that it comes out at midnight
Like 2 a.m. for us on the West.
Or on the
Comes out at, like,
it's
2 a.m.
it's
for
like,
me.
It's like 1 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah,
It's.
But I mean, when has that ever stopped anyone?
well,
apparently now.
you just don't see the discussion
Oh.
threads. Like they just don't
Yeah.
get voted to the top. Like,
Probably.
people just don't see them.
Yeah,
But
so for
The
the
main-
premise for anyone who doesn't know, maybe I should tell it because not many people are watching it. So it's pretty much about like this fat Fujoshi who's just going around and like shipping all these like hot guys at her school. So she just like kind of ships them to herself, and you can see like in her daily interaction, she's not really noticed. It's not like she gets like ridiculed all the time, but she's just like kind of ignored because she's just like fat and weird and shit, and no one wants to talk to her. And then
That's so mean.
well, it's
no,
true.
They don't like bully her.
Sounds
She's,
great.
she's
Why
usually,
don't
am I
bully
not
her.
watching this?
she's usually seen as like a nice person because she like helps out.
Yeah, like people
Yeah.
are like,
So people like her,
talk
but,
with her.
but people don't
Yeah.
like. Nobody like thinks she's like attractive. Nobody's
no
hitting
one
on
wants
her.
No one
to
gives
fuck her.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. But so then her favorite anime character dies, and she like has a huge meltdown and just hides in her room for a week. And so she's essentially like in her bed for a week, and then her brother is like, "Okay, enough of this shit." And then she wakes up and she's like gorgeous and super hot, and she goes to school, and like no one even recognizes her. And now all of a sudden these hot dudes are into her, and she has this reverse harem going on. And at first she's like trying to hide how she's a weeb and trying to act really normie for them, but it doesn't work. So they're trying to kind of like trying to keep up with her Fujoshi aspects, but we're seeing how that's playing out now.
So it's really
No.
funny how she has a reverse harem, but she's also shipping her harem together.
The boys
Yeah.
in her harem with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, there's like the two guys who are like best friends, and her friend have like a ship name for them based on their names. They call it like 5x7, and
Or
then like
7x5. I didn't really get that. That was
Oh
like
my
some really
God.
weird wordplay
Well,
there. I didn't really
I've
understand.
I realized that like they're called 5x7 because the characters of their names are mean 5 and 7 in Japanese. Like part of their like kanji mean 5 and 7.
Like that. I
Oh.
kind of figured that, but it's just like it just didn't really work.
Yeah, that was like that's like a small thing.
Yeah.
But then I think they have like arguing shipping based on like who's the more like
Dominant?
masculine one, I guess.
Yeah,
the more dominant one. So they have like back and forths on that. But it's pretty funny. Like I think in the first episode, they all go on like a group date with her, and she starts seeing all this like weeb shit around her, and she's like, gotta stick in normie mode, gotta be a normie.
And she sees like a limited edition body pillow with like her favorite character.
Yeah, it's like limited edition. This is the last one in stock, and you just see her. She's like, I give up, and she has to go up and get her body pillow, and she's like, this is who I am. So, and it has some really great reaction faces. Like she has the best reaction faces when she's in like Fujoshi mode, and then even in normie mode, they have great reaction faces going on.
Great references too.
Great references.
They had her dressed up in the latest episode as Sasha from Attack on Titan.
Because her voice actress is actually the same.
Eat a potato
and it's the same voice actress.
Yeah.
And then there was like a really sweet JoJo reference that was amazing.
They have
Wow, of course you
so
know
good.
that, Smurf.
It was pretty obvious. It was pretty clear.
Was it a reference that anime onlys would get?
She did the Muda 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 Re.
I think it's like, is it fair to say it kind of has like a Nozeki-kun kind of vibe?
Definitely. I would say, yeah, it reminds me of Nozaki
Sort of,
a bit.
yeah.
So I think it's...
Oh, that's a strong endorsement.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think some people are turned off because they hear Fujoshi and run for the hills because they're afraid of getting shipped with other guys. But I think it's kind of like, doesn't really focus too much on the creepy aspects of it. Like, it doesn't get as creepy as you think. It's very lighthearted, and it definitely is more of like weebs and Fujoshi, but not just straight Fujo stuff.
Yeah, because even as a guy, I really enjoy it. It has a really good voice cast too. So if you're one that likes to pick up shows based on voice actors, which is a bad idea, don't do that solely on voice actors.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, honestly.
I've done it before.
It has like Yu Kobayashi is the main main girl. There's gonna be another girl introduced sometime soonish.
Oh, Sawashiro.
Sawashiro. And of course, Josuke is one of the main guys.
Yeah,
so I call him Shoujo Josuke.
Yuki Ono is in the is one of the harem members. Yeah.
Was the one the
is he the black-haired one?
Kohai?
Yeah, he's the normal black-haired dude. Because then you have Senpai, who's voiced by the same guy who does Haru and Free.
Which is best
then
guy.
The Kohai, yes, Senpai is best guy. Then the Kohai is actually Soma and Kirito. And then the middle dude is Endurance. And then the blonde dude, the blonde tsundere guy, is he's kind of a noob, so I don't think he's really been in much. But he does a great job. He's very soon and blonde. Everyone does good.
Yeah.
And Senpai is best guy.
Senpai is best guy. He's so smooth.
Isn't he the only one that's like not directly going for her, and he's just kind of like being
he's kind of oblivious?
Yeah, he's the only one he's the only one who recognized her when she was skinny. He's like, oh, I recognize you because you're still just as kind. So we're like, okay, game's over. Best guy is found.
He wins.
He wins. We're done here. Yeah, so check it out and laugh along with us at JoJo references.
I want to say like two things, or at least one thing before we move on. First off is that she's an otaku, right?
Definitely.
And she's going for 3D. I feel so ashamed.
No.
You know what's funny? She said, I can't hang with 3D life.
The 3D
he says, I can't hang with 3D life.
3D came for her? She needs to reject the 3D. What's wrong with her?
She's kind of rejecting the 3D. She doesn't know how to hang with it.
She got fed up in the latest episode and was like, real life is too hard.
Real life is a shitty game, which is apparently the world God only knows reference. So she's like,
it is.
She's rejecting the 3D. Don't worry, weeb status maintained.
Yeah,
I'm scared though. What if she gets seduced?
She's writing a really nice line where she really still wants to be like a huge otaku, but at the same time she realizes that the real life does exist, and she like trying to figure out how to balance that.
Yeah, it was definitely cool because her personality didn't change even though she got skinnier. So she's just kind of like, why are all these dudes talking to me? I'm just trying to ship people and I'm like more in my husbando. Like she's just trying to do her thing and real life is getting in the way.
Oh, one more thing. The fat girl voice that she had at the beginning of the series. Okay, I want to say I hated it.
It was pretty cringe. It was intentionally
I
cringe, but it was
hated it.
cringe.
It was so bad. I don't even know. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is actually pretty popular. It's made by Shaft. Three gatsu.
March comes in like
You
a
got
lion.
Kimo Lion.
You want to know what's triggering me today?
What?
You people keep calling it three gatsu
It's
instead of
Sangatsu.
sangatsu.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Freaking
Wow.
I'm gonna
normies.
forget.
I mean, I read it like I see it. It has a 3. I say 3.
Same.
Gatsu.
So I'll
What
say
else
March
is there
comes
to
in
do?
like a lion.
Disgusting.
I'll say March comes in
Yeah,
like a
that's-
lion.
That's a great title.
So March is
so-
coming
Because
in
like
like a
last
lion.
season, everyone kept saying like Amama Toinazuma. It's like just call it Sweetness and Lightning. That's so good.
Ooh, that does sound cute. Sweetness and lightning.
No, but I need to be a weeb and say it by the Japanese name to maintain my Nipponese-ness.
Yeah, whatever.
Same.
Mr. Three Gatsu.
So I actually haven't seen this, but I put on my plan to watch because I'm kind of interested in it. Sell me on it, guys. What's it about?
So it's about it's a character drama about this kid. He's 17 years old and he's a professional shogi player. Shogi is like a traditional game,
Like checkers.
that seems kind of like chess or checkers, something like that. I have no idea because my biggest complaint about the show is they don't explain anything about how shogi works.
It's a pretty shit sports
So-
anime for not explaining how it works.
Right? Like, I saw someone comparing it to Chihaya Furu, which is another like super traditional old Japanese game, Karuta, and nobody in the West knows anything about what Karuta is, but it does a really good job of explaining it as it goes along. Whereas in Sangatsu, in the most recent episode, he was playing someone, and the guy did like this really unconventional move, and the main character Ray starts freaking out like, he moved silver instead of taking gold, and they're like 30 seconds on that, and I'm just, what does that mean?
Yeah, like if you didn't know that gold is like
Oh,
you know gold is
jeez.
better than silver, but you're like, why is this significant?
Right.
So
But
it's something
he
that
has like
mostly...
such a powerful reaction to that play that it felt
So would it
really
be
jarring
something that-
not knowing what he's talking
It
about.
sounds like when you're
So-
watching
so-
like something like Akagi, which is about mahjong, and it doesn't really teach you about mahjong. Not many people know how to play mahjong. Not many people I know. So it's
Right.
just like, oh shit, this guy did something. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't really know what that means, but hey, all right.
Yeah.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of that. There's that comic. I'll have to try to find it and link it. There's like a comic of like the first time you watch mahjong, and it was like, oh man, it's like I don't know what's happening, but like he really upset those guys, and it's like the second time you watch like Akagi, and he's like, it's like, oh man, he just did like a triple dragon maneuver, like this is crazy. You don't do that. And like the third one, he's like, it's like, oh my god. It's like the third time you watch Akagi, it's like, oh my god, he just did like, it's like, wow, the balls on Akagi. Look at that. He just pulled like a triple something reverse, whatever, against some gangsters. He's got some serious balls on him. It's just like the more you watch it, you understand. But at the beginning, you just have no idea.
So
Yeah.
would you guys say that this is definitely one of those few anime that's made primarily for a Japanese audience, and they go so heavy-handed on that?
I think it
Like,
is,
with all
but I
the
don't think it.
Japanese references that we...
I think the problem
Yeah.
is I really like it so far. It's interesting and it has some interesting like showing not telling of showing the different tones to try and communicate the main character's emotional state. But the problem is I'm not sure if it's trying to focus on his emotional state and him trying to overcome or like how he got into this emotional state, or if they're trying to show him playing shogi. Like, I'm not sure what they're trying to go for with this, which is I can see being a problem in the future.
Okay.
I've
Okay,
seen a
well.
lot of people raving about this show and like the direction and
By the way, how
like
shafty is this
emotional
show?
impact of it and
Who's
everything.
happening?
It's like the least shafty shaft
So it's
I've
like
ever seen.
Kofu Graffiti.
I
Oh.
haven't seen that, but
Rip.
Oh,
it's
jeez.
not very shaft at all. It has a
Okay,
very
let's, It's
pretty, like,
unique
toned
art
down
style,
shafty.
but without like the crazy tricks.
Yeah, I think it's worth a shot, but people love it. Try it. If you don't love it, it's no big deal.
Okay,
That's how I feel
let's,
about it. I like but don't love it.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the next time we're here to talk about. Let's talk about flip flappers.
Flap.
Yo, Flip Flappers though.
Do they wear flip flops?
Flip Flappers
They don't.
is easily my favorite show of the season.
What the fuck?
So this one is kind of like this one is like a kind of like surreal Alice in Wonderland with two cute anime girls as they do like cute anime things in in extreme situations. Like that sounds like a vague description because I don't actually know how to describe it.
So the way
Right.
I've tried describing this to people, and it's actually really hard because Flip Flappers is really weird. It's like it's really, really colorful.
Yeah.
It's extremely colorful. It's pretty abstract. I feel like you'd kind of compare it to like early 2000s Gainax.
Yeah.
Like a Fooly Cooly or an Abenobashi.
Ooh.
Yeah. It feels a lot like Fooly Cooly, but less so.
It's not as
Like it's not as bizarre and inscrutable as Fooly Cooly, but it's pretty
like
bizarre.
yeah. It's strange like Fooly Cooly, but it's not because I feel like Fooly Cooly is purposely confusing to start. Flip Flappers isn't really confusing.
Yes, it definitely is.
Like
it's easy to tell what's going on in Flip Flappers all the time, but why it's happening is what we're never quite sure of.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. So, it like you can see pieces like with like the group that's kind of working with them, kind of like you can kind of piece things together, and you can see how like you can kind of see how they're going to explain it as it goes forward. Start with, it's just mostly like this girl is kind of like a social reject almost, and she meets this other girl, and they get like they fall into like a pipe.
It's like Alice in Wonderland,
and it brings them into like this magical world. Reminds me of more of like Narnia, where they just kind of appear in this world, and then they just like go on like a little adventure, and they fight Pukumukus from Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'll link a comparison picture to people who are confused because they
please do.
Like those big slug things from the first episode. They look
the snow-covered trees.
Like, just
they're
like
kind of showing
a
a
new
lot.
Pokemon. Like
they're showing a lot of things, and they're hinting at a lot of themes in development, but we haven't really gotten there yet. So we're kind of just guessing at this point. So I think a lot of people are enjoying the ride so far, but we'll see if the destination is worth it.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be. The themes are something about like the subjective nature of reality, and like how different people's perspectives like inform the way they see the world. Because one thing someone pointed out in one of the episode 2 thread is, you remember Kokona's rabbit? His name was like Uxcool or something. Yeah. That's so apparently Uxcool is the name of some like 20th century German like biologist philosopher who wrote this book about how like no two animal species or no two organisms like perceive the world in the same way.
Okay.
And then when you see what happens to Uxcool in that episode when they go into pure illusion, so that's like the way he sees himself and the world that he created.
All right, that's pretty interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So I definitely have a lot of faith in this turning out to be a really good show.
Yeah. I was a bit hesitant to watch it at first because it is an original. So nobody has any idea what's coming up. It's really abstract, and it's from Studio 3 Hertz, which not many people have ever heard of.
They did Dimension W.
They did Dimension W.
That's the only other show I know.
Oh boy!
But
which was a terrible show.
Well,
this is already
the dance, man. The dance.
I
had to
give
go
him some credit because Dimension W. I feel like most of its problems were actually from the source itself and not the animation stuff.
That's fair. Its production was fine.
Dimension W production quality wise was good, so that's why I'm looking for. That's why I'm like, okay, so like I can have faith in the studio for that. And Flip Floppers looks really good so far. The last episode had some really good fight scenes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'm kind of on the fence with this one. I'm gonna wait and see, but I like it, but I don't love it because I don't really like the characters that much, and I don't really know why I should care about what's going on. But I'm along for the ride, so we'll see what happens.
And it has the best ED of the season.
Probably does.
It reminds me a lot of the Humanity's Decline.
And
ED.
episode 3 was like a giant Mad Max Fury Road reference.
Pretty much.
So if you're into that, then watch it.
Okay, so let's move on to our next one. Izetta.
Shuumatsu no Izetta.
The
Last
one
Witch.
show I've kind of watched this season. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, my first impression when I read the synopsis before even watching it was like, it's going to be another Yuri bait show, isn't it? And people are going to circle jerk it for the Yuri. And I was pleasantly surprised, though, when I started watching.
Yeah, they had girls riding guns
Um,
as if they were brooms.
Yeah. It's a metaphor,
It's not.
Becker.
Keep telling me it's a fucking metaphor, but I don't believe you, man.
It's a metaphor.
I mean, metaphors don't have to be that complicated. It can be a metaphor for everything you're thinking of, but still a metaphor.
It's just a metaphor, Becker. Just accept it.
All right.
That's all it is. Anyways, it was neat to see the like historical like sort of stuff happening, trench warfare. I mean, I'm kind of iffy on it because it is technically like World War II-ish, and then we have not Germany.
Yeah.
And we have not
Yeah.
Austria.
We have
for
Britannians.
Ilstat. My favorite is that we have the United States of Atlanta.
Why Atlanta?
I'm
Like,
nice.
like,
Nice.
I like that. Even though I
Oh,
don't
boy,
care for
that's-
Atlanta.
and
For
before Atlanta
sports
takes over
reasons.
the U.S. Fuck.
Though there's zombies.
Everyone's gonna be a Falcons fan.
Oh god, that's awesome.
The worst end zone.
Oh,
Drink
just
Coke.
gone
gone
every
back
day.
to the NFL chat.
But is that as? I feel like I'm the only one not liking this show.
I mean, I say I like it, but I'm more like on the kind of like a side of
episode one. Episode one was just so exposition heavy of like the worst kind.
Oh yeah, it
When
was.
they're like, we need to stop the Germanians from invading Elstadt so that we can get the thing from the Britannians to do the thing. I'm just like, I don't know what any of these names are. Like, you're just throwing out names and made up words at me right now, and I don't know what any of it is. It's like it expects me to know what they're talking about when I have no idea. It's like the type of exposition that just puts me to sleep. That was the entire first episode, and a good chunk of the second episode too. But I feel like where it shines is with the like action scenes, like
oh yeah,
some
those
of
are
the
neat.
scenes of Izetta on the gun and like shooting like spikes out of the ground from her blood or something. That was pretty cool. And I like the attention
Yeah.
to detail where she fired the gun, and then when she couldn't grab it again because it was too hot.
Oh yeah, that was neat. She's actually using an anti-tank gun. They won't say it officially, but because
Why not?
it's
Is she
not.
using it against tanks?
It's a gun from the Soviet Empire, but not the not Soviet Empire there. So,
I see.
Kinda hard to say. I think Izetta has potential. I know it was really hyped before it started airing, though. I'm kind of half surprised and half not surprised that's kind of fallen off. I know the discussion threads are really highly upvoted, but there's
Nobody
apparently
seems to
there's
be
not a
talking
lot
about it
happening
outside of those.
Yeah. So it's weird.
Who is
Weird show.
just curious? Who's animating this?
Aijado, literally a no-name studio. They did Vampire D Hunter.
Vampire Hunter D.
Yeah, Vampire Hunter
Like
D.
the movie or like?
They did
Oh yeah.
Genshiki.
Oh no, that's a
They
different one.
did, yeah.
Not the Madhouse one. That's
Yeah.
cool. Oh okay.
No, they didn't. They actually, Izetta is their most popular show, and it's just started airing, so that says a lot about it. The studio, so they're pretty new, and they've mostly done like minor things beforehand. So I'm surprised to see them have this. It looks very good for despite
Yeah, it looks
everything they have is
it looks
kinda, like,
really
really
good.
different.
I've heard some complaints with some of the CG, like in like the episode 3 fight scenes when she has like all the swords floating around her.
Oh yeah.
I've heard some complaints about that, but I thought it looked fine.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so let's move on to the next show. Oh god, the meme show of the season. Oh,
That is
Jesus.
not the way you talk about a serious sports anime. It deserves so much more respect
Keijo.
and
Literally,
exclamation points.
it's better than Haikyuu. I mean, I don't know why Shaw is
Okay,
obsessed with
okay.
Haikyuu.
Better
Shot.
than JoJo and Haikyuu. Take
Well,
If
that,
it's
Smart.
such a
Let's not get too
serious
crazy.
show, please tell me how many exclamation marks are in the title.
I learned it was 8 because I thought it was 7.
It's definitely
But-
8.
Well, we checked and it was 8, so 8 times the fun.
8. Okay. Oh god. So it's boobs
It's
and
butts.
butts,
Mostly butts.
And bikinis.
and it's animated by Zebek, who did that god awful Triage X thing a while back, and I'm surprised that they're doing the exact same thing again.
Hey, at least they
I
don't
shouldn't
have
be
monster
surprised.
boobs this time.
Oh no, it's replaced by
Which is
monster
surprising.
butts. Like, I saw the butts in one of the episodes, and I was just like, no. I mean, they look good, but they're not supposed to move
That's
this
only
way.
when they focus on it, though. Normally they look fine.
No, they did the whole training sequence, and I was just like, oh god,
Yeah,
what's
when they
happening?
focus on them.
Like, oh god, I think it's not a very decent. Apparently, from what I've heard, is this actually tries to be serious while still maintaining this fan service element to it. I don't really see that
tries to
working.
be serious. It's I don't know. It's kind of like that, like just kind of standard, like here's a quote unquote serious plot, but it's also kind of comedic too. But it's a show where the writer clearly knows that nobody is reading or watching this for the plot.
Yeah.
They're watching it for the plot. Yeah, I get.
So the actual storyline plot, has really minimal effort, but it's like just enough to make it like passable.
That's true.
Apparently, I heard, and I've heard this from like one person. I haven't heard. Nobody's told me I'm wrong yet, so I think I'm still right. Because the best way to be, the best way to have correct information on the internet is to be wrong, and then people will be really quick to tell you that you're wrong.
Okay.
Apparently, the anime skipped the first 26 chapters of the manga.
Yeah, because I remember reading
I
about
can
the
see that
manga.
happening.
I remember the manga mentioning something about how the MC is like playing in Keijo because she needs to get money for college. But like they don't mention that at all in the anime. And I think that would make sense if you're like, hey, I need money for college, I'm gonna go do like boob wrestling.
Or be a
But,
stripper.
like,
that works.
Yeah, like but in this show she's just like hype as fuck to do Keijo.
Yeah, the show starts with her like seeing a professional match and being like, "This is awesome! I want to do this." And now she's like super excited to do that.
Sounds so corrupted. Oh,
Yeah, it's
geez.
pretty weird.
I love how the crowd is always just like disgusting looking men.
The target audience.
And they were all
They're just
okay
like
with it.
throwing money at the pool for some reason. I don't know. It's like that's just a waste of money. Like it's just getting wet.
It gets
Yeah,
so
it's just getting
wet.
wet and ruined.
Oh jeez. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if people like fan service, they can watch it. I'm probably gonna end up dropping it because I can't handle it. I don't want anyone to know that I actually
I just
watched
think
it.
I think it's just absurd.
I'm
and kind of
scared.
Well, it's
funny.
too late because this is getting published on the internet.
No, guys, I didn't
secret's out.
actually watch Keijo. I'm not that type of guy. Please believe me.
Don't believe him. He's a compulsive liar.
Oh. Okay. So let's move on to another show. Yuri on Ice. Surprisingly enough, only
Yaoi on
one person.
Ice, am I right, guys?
Hey.
People.
So I'm like surprisingly enough, I'm the only one who's seen it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Really,
no one else.
the girl is the girl is the only one watching a male figure skating show.
You thought it
I
was
was
Shaw,
going
but it was me, the
to get
MC
caught
of
up
Kiss
on
Him,
it
not me.
in time.
Haha.
That's weird.
So
So here's my question for you.
Mhm.
Is it like actual gay romance, or is it just like gay in the way that Hibike Euphonium is Yuri?
Is it
It's-
undertones or is it overtones?
I'd say, funny enough, there's one scene in the show that I think is almost like a direct mirror of Euphonium with like a lip touch kind of thing. So I'd say it's undertones that may become overtones, but they're still pretty undertones. Still kind of under.
So
Okay.
So is
ba-
that the scene from episode 2 that people talk
3.
about?
3.
Okay, I remember like the first episode, people were like, "It's not that gay," and then like either episode 2 or 3, people were like, "Okay, it's
Okay,
it's
it's
getting kind
guys,
of
it's
gay
actually
now."
a little gay.
That's getting
Now it's
It's
actually
getting
gay.
pretty gay. Yeah, it's definitely pretty gay. But I mean, then again, I don't think that's a bad thing for the show. It actually has some relevance, giving the characters' relationship and how they see each other, and it's ice skating. So I mean,
You don't
No offense to
expect
ice skating,
you don't
but
expect
How
kinda
good is
gay.
the ice skating animation?
ice skating animation and overall production values, including direction, sound quality, everything are top notch. This is like a reason to watch the show, even if you're not interested in ice skating. Is the ice skating looks gorgeous, the characters are pretty good. All the production values are off the charts. And
I'm not surprised
Yeah.
at the production values because this is made by Mappa,
Oh,
who's
Mappa's
also
really
done
good.
Yeah, they did. Was this Kids on the Slope?
Oh,
which
yeah.
They
was
also
a
did,
really
Well-
good, a really good
Ter-
music anime.
Terra in Resonance, which looks fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
and
Really good. So
Shingeki
Mappa
no
is
Bamo-
like I know people. A lot of people say like they miss the old Madhouse. No, I'm
That
not
is
trying to
kind
mean
of the
here.
old Madhouse, actually.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
lot
like
of like
it's
arguably
a lot
they're,
of people
like, best
from
people from Madhouse.
there's a lot of people from the early 2000s, 90s Madhouse. So the people that miss I missed the good old days of Madhouse. Just go watch Mappa shows because that's the good old days
Yeah.
of Madhouse.
Because
now.
Mappa is founded by the co-founder of Madhouse, Masao Mariyama. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, I think one of the big polls for the show that got a lot of attention before it was airing is the
It's
director
a female.
is her name is Sayo Yamamoto.
Sayo Yamamoto.
Yamamoto, thank you.
Mhm.
And she's been in a lot of big shows. She's mostly known for doing OPs and EDs in a lot of big shows like Technolize. I think she was in she did the OP for Psycho Pass, and she was an episode director on different shows from like Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, she worked under
I think
Watanabe. She's worked under a lot of like big name directors, and this is like
yeah, so this is kind of like her coming out of her own show. Oh, she also did what's the show?
Ichigo's in Action?
Yeah, that show. That was pretty great. I haven't gotten to see it, but a lot of people I heard nothing but good things, and she did the OP for that too. So it's not surprising that the OP and the ED for the show are really getting a lot of attention. And it's been a pretty fun show. It's been really fun to see what'll happen. I do have some gripes with the tone changes in comedy. They have some of that like chibi comedy issues.
Oh, weird! I wouldn't
Echo.
expect
oh
that.
jeez.
Yeah, it's been kind of awkward where it goes back and forth a bit. So I think that's just a minor gripe, but I think it's worth checking out.
Okay, I probably won't. I bet I'd hate it. It just doesn't seem like my kind of show. But for the people who can get into like, I don't know how to describe this. It is it kind of like, would you say like if you're interested in like stuff like Rakugo, you'd like Yuri on Ice?
No, it's not like that. It's not
not like
like
that?
too deep for you, like philosophical stuff. I'd say it's more of like
If you can just like appreciate like effort
I don't
or
know, I mean,
production quality or something.
I mean, if you're not gonna watch it because you don't like ice skating, and if you're not gonna watch it because you don't like Yao aspects, I'd say watch it for production quality.
Okay.
But if you're not gonna like either of those two, I don't know how much you're gonna enjoy it. I picked it up because it sounded cool enough, and I've seen enough Disney Channel original movies to appreciate ice skating. So
Go figure.
I think it's fine.
Is that a pun?
Well, there's like
Yeah.
Disney original movies for like every
Figure
sport. I
skating?
swear to God.
Oh yeah, I'm just waiting for like the classic like ice
So when
skating
does-
injury, and it's like,
so, like-
oh, I can't go on, but you have to go on for me.
When
I'm
does-
just waiting for that.
When does Michelle Trachtenberg show up?
I'm waiting. Clock is ticking, or it's getting
Don't
a
they
one.
have like the Japanese figure skating champion on staff for the show?
Oh yeah,
That
they're
sounds-
basing
I heard
some
someone
stuff.
saying that.
That sounds
They're
right.
basing
I
the
think I
movements
heard
off
that.
them. They put in a lot of effort, and I think it shows. It's very like you can see the passion in every episode. Sometimes in artistic ways, sometimes in some like boys loving boys way, but there's definitely a lot of passion in it. I
Nice.
recommend it. Go for it.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, it's getting
Yeah.
a lot of
So-
it's getting a lot of traction. A lot of people are loving it.
Yeah.
So before we wrap everything up, let's talk about sequels for this season.
'Cause there are
I
a
know
lot.
probably the most popular right now is Haikyuu season 3.
Yep.
Hypoo season 3.
I
Close
boom.
hype.
It's really good. I mean,
It-
if you like, I mean, obviously, I guess if you like Haikyuu, you're watching it already. But if you just like really hyped matches, like season 3 is going to be like a match.
10 episodes for a single
10
match.
episodes? Wow.
You'd
10
be
episodes.
Yeah, you'd be
Don't know of
surprised.
many like sports shonen that are only like 10 episodes. Most of them are just two core.
Well, this is after two 24
Yeah,
episode
that's true.
seasons.
But
So
even then, that's
Yeah.
still rare.
Yeah, they just wanted to do the single
Well,
match
it's like-
though, and
it's
it's,
like right
really
up to the
intense.
just
manga.
like finish up this.
Yeah,
tournament.
I read the manga, and I think it's a good call. I think it'll be paced well, and I think they'll include everything they need to kind of like keep us on pace. I'll say I think it's a good call.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's classic Haikyuu. My only gripe is that the OP from season 2, the second OP was so good, and now when I see the newest OP, I'm just so let down.
Imagination was the best OP.
Well,
The
no.
first one.
Well,
You
Imagination is my
are
third
wrong.
favorite. I'm really torn because I do like the third season OP. I think it's really hype. I love the animation for it, and
Yeah,
I
that
love
sounds
how it
good
doesn't
too.
spoil anything. Like the only gripe
That's
I
like
have
the
with
best part
Black
about
Eye
it. Yeah. It's like
is that I love this about like the PV, and I loved it about the OP is they gave nothing away. You guys have no idea.
Like it
who
really
is
just
gonna
shows.
get features.
It really just shows. It's like, okay, here's the main cast.
Which is
here's the team they're playing against that you already know they're playing against.
Here's
And then
some
it's just
bird
like,
metaphors.
and then it's just a bunch of shots of them just like playing like just volleyball, like just the main cast playing volleyball, like practicing and stuff. Like it doesn't like show anything.
Yeah.
which is kind of ironic that they're not spoiling anything now because the title of this season directly spoils the end of the second season.
What's funny is
major
that they
gripe with
also
that.
true.
they announced it before the second season finished airing. So they
Oh,
actually
they did?
they actually
Oh my God,
spoiled
that's
the
terrible.
second season for like it was like
Wow.
2 episodes before the second season ended. They announced
Oh,
this
that's
one.
terrible.
It's like that title is a spoiler for the second season.
That's pretty terrible.
Although,
Man,
let's be honest though, there was no way they were going to lose that match.
But I was looking forward to another loss so they could learn to develop and actually be good again. No,
It was obvious,
I
but it was
wanted
still
another season
I
of
think
training
they could
it was
just-
obvious what was going to happen, but it's still not fun to like get confirmation about it, even if you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't
But
really want
I think that's
confirmation.
I think that's a necessary evil though when it comes to sports animes. Just because knowing who's gonna play who spoils a lot.
Yeah.
And it's very, very hard to get around that, unfortunately.
And I think
Yeah.
with this one, I think it's
Um,
kind of up in the air who's gonna win. It could go either way.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I don't think you guys know. I barely know. I'll pretend not to know. But I think.
I'm like
Wow,
90% sure the good guys are going to win.
But who are the
But
good guys?
I could see it going the other way.
because they're never gonna
The
like
good-
who are the good guys. Now we're gonna see how the other team is, and we'll be like, oh, but they're bros too, every time.
I don't want that.
Yeah,
No,
but
fuck
Ushimoto
those
is-
bros.
is kind of an asshole.
I want my OG
I don't like
bros.
Shijima. I like his chant though.
Okay. For like this is dumb, but Dateko had the best chant, right? For all net.
Definitely.
No,
Yeah, they all
Seijo had the
did.
best chant.
No,
Seijo did not have the
Go,
best
go,
chant.
go, 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 Seijo.
No, that was-
that's
No, that was
one
lame.
sucks.
That was lame.
That's super
Let's go.
uncreative.
Let's go.
Nah,
Let's
I
go.
love
Kurosano
Dateko.
stole it from Seijo, and then it's still super lame for Kurosano too.
That's true.
Dateko has the best chant.
Let's hope we see Dateko again so we can see their chant. But
Oh,
Yeah, the
agreed.
huge like white-haired guy on Dadeko was like low-key my favorite character.
I think he's like your favorite. Like this guy's my husbando. This white haired dude. What's his name? Ayone or something?
After Oikawa and Sugawara, he's the best.
Well, I can't.
Yeah, we can move on to the next. I feel like we've talked enough about. We're not even talking about season 3 anymore.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel. Let's move on to
Um,
the next sequel.
let's
which-
talk about Smurf's favorite show of the season. Even probably more favorite than Girls
Natsume's
Number,
Book of.
actually.
Oh wait, no. JoJo's
You
Bizarre
think you're
Adventure.
Wow, Smurf, good job.
So yeah, this is
Definitely not-
hands
it's
down
definitely not the
my
Shoujo,
favorite
it's
season of
definitely
JoJo
JoJo.
yet.
Smurf, do you want to say anything about part 4? How it's just
It's so. Oh man.
Great.
The OP is
It's so
so good. For all the haters out there, because I know there are a lot of people who don't like it. I want to
Trace is
say
better.
it's the best. It's the best opening, and I can't tell you why yet.
I know
Oh,
why, and it's still
but
not the
I
best
know
opening.
why. I know why because I
No,
read
this is
part
definitely the best
4.
opening.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice try. You can't pull one over on us.
Wait, I haven't
Aw.
read. Is there like a manga reason it's the best opening?
Yes.
There,
Because I haven't
there
read the
is-
manga and
There
I
are
still think it's
several
the best
reasons
opening.
why it's the best
I love
opening.
it.
I don't think.
There's a
Um,
manga reason. It's a plot reason that it's the best opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has
It's-
like a really subtle tease. It's not even subtle, or it's not even like a. I think it's like people figured out what they're doing, what they'll do with it, and it makes it the best. Like,
Oh wait,
Okay.
can we? Would saying like what the part 3 second OP thing
so-
was
okay,
be a
so,
spoiler
I
for them,
mean-
or
at the end of part 3, they altered the OP to match what was going on, and it was awesome.
Mhm.
They're gonna do that. If they do that again for part 4, which it looks like they're going to, it's gonna be it's like awesome and amazing.
Oh, I'm excited
So,
now.
Oh, is that what it's gonna be? It's something that hasn't happened yet.
yes.
Okay, if that happens, then I'll be on board. But at the moment, I think it's pretty good, but I don't think it's the best. But that's what I thought about season 3 OP, so I will change my opinion accordingly.
Right.
yeah?
So
season
I think
3 OP was
where
holy.
I think my favorite part
shit,
of it.
so hype.
I hate to be the source guy that hypes it up and oh my god, guys, it's gonna be the best
Source
thing
fag.
ever. You have no idea. You're wrong because
Ruined.
you don't like it because stuff that hasn't happened yet. You know, I don't like to be that guy, but I think it's gonna be fun. I think people are gonna like it a lot.
Well, let me not be the source guy then and say, as an anime only, this is by far my favorite JoJo season yet.
It's my favorite, and I'm caught up to the manga.
So
It's my-
I guess
it's my-
it's our favorites.
It's my favorite.
So yeah,
it's my
JoJo
favorite-
remains
Diamond
good.
is Unbreakable is my favorite JoJo part out of all of them. So
Moving
I'm
on.
excited.
Okay, so last sequel we're going to talk about, because it's also really big, is Hibiki Euphonium Season 2.
Girls can't love girls.
So Yuri
Girls
Bait,
cannot love girls.
Yuri Bait undertones the anime.
I
Is
just like
anyone-
listening.
yeah.
I just like listening to Kumiko's noises, and I don't even watch HBK.
That's it. She's pretty great. She has the best noises. I was actually like really pleasantly surprised with how the second season seems to be doing a lot more band focused things. It's focused on like some of the drama that we keep hearing about in the previous year, and now that they're getting good and going to nationals, that they're like we're hearing more about what's going on, and we get to see more of Best Girl, Asuka, and Kimiko, and get to see the cast, and it looks really pretty. Pretty much it.
HBK looks
Classic.
really good.
It always looks
visually.
really gorgeous.
I'm not a big fan of I'm not a slice of life guy. If you look at my Mal graph, you'll see that Kyoto Animation has the lowest average. All they done like
Gasp.
rank 74.
Quite the power.
So I'm like the Antichrist on our anime basically.
are.
This is an outrage.
You're not
but
wrong.
it looks really nice.
It's pretty.
It's very pretty.
Yeah. Well, you can say that about most Kyoto.
You can. I think that's a good thing.
I think it's
to
the
have.
prettiest.
There's
There's
shows
show that
like
you can't say that looks pretty.
Nichijou.
Nichijou looks
think it-
good.
It looks fine, but I
It
wouldn't
looks
say
good.
it's like amazing.
The
I
art
wouldn't
style
say like,
looks
oh my
different.
god, Nichijou looks so good. It's like, yeah, it fits what it's going for really well, but I wouldn't say it looks amazing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Hibike is pretty cool. It looks really good, and if you like season 1, it's worth checking out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you watch season 1, you probably watch season 2.
Unless you
You have
unless
to
you
get through
hate
a lot.
And you
unless you hate fun.
Yeah. I'm sure if we have a few fun haters. I'm a
Yeah,
fun
we have everyone
hater.
here on the
Wow,
podcast.
you're fucking awful. Get the fuck out, man.
Wow, you know, maybe I will by forcibly ending this podcast episode. Jeez.
That was such
So,
a smooth transition.
guys,
Damn.
Guys, I guess we're done. Any closing remarks on fall 2016?
Sucks.
Smurf?
It's pretty terrible. Don't watch anything.
Sinners, what do you have to say?
Yeah, pretty much that. They beat me to the meat.
Oh, jeez.
I hate
Becker?
everything. Why the fuck am I here?
Why are you here? You've seen one episode.
I've seen literally one episode of the whole.
Well, that's not true.
Oh,
You've
wow.
seen some JoJo from this season, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm actually like 3 episodes behind on JoJo, but
Oh, maybe you haven't seen any from this season yet.
rip.
Maybe you finished the second core and just left it off right there.
Okay, well, I guess that confirms it, guys. This was the shittiest season of all time. It's
I bet
never
next
going to
season's
get
gonna
any
be
better from
worse.
here.
Most definitely will
Probably
be worse.
will be. Konosuba season 2. Oh, it's going to be terrible.
The
Just
Rakugo
you wait,
season 2,
guys.
though.
Oh, no, it's gonna be. No, it has to
But
keep
guys,
the
but
meme
what
going,
about
guys.
Super Lovers season 2?
Dude, shout out to Dean. Dean's lit.
Probably gonna have to take some shelter from all these terrible season 2s and just go rewatch everything this season.
Good
Suffer
meme.
again?
And stuff
I feel like I'm the only one who caught it.
You're definitely the only one who got it. Fuck my shit.
Oh.
That's when it's time.
Oh man, I feel behind on the memes. Damn.
That's when you know it's time to go, when no one picks up on your memes anymore.
Except for me. Like, that's even worse than nobody at all.
Yeah, Smurf's not even a memer.
But he likes
God.
JoJo, of course he's a
His
memer.
His favorite show is JoJo. Of course he's a memer.
He's such a memer.
No, that's JoJo memes, not like meme.
No,
memes.
JoJo memes
are
are
definitely
memes.
memes. Like,
There's JoJo memes and then there's other memes.
JoJo's his own
What's
his own style of memes. It's like its own category of memes.
Yeah.
There are memes I
Okay,
know that I
well,
can't even tell you
let's-
because they're spoilers.
God.
But the
damn
memes
Source
just work,
guy.
okay? They just work.
Source fags, I swear.
Okay,
Alright,
okay,
I think
we're done.
here.
We're fucking done here. Okay, thanks so much, Sinners, for being a guest.
My
We hope
pleasure.
you enjoyed your time here.
I did.
Thank you for
Uh,
joining us.
Tolerate
Hope
us.
you
We'll
don't
do
die
this again
soon.
sometime.
Wow.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I think we all hope that. Except for
I can
Dude
get
Man,
behind
'cause
that.
he hates fun.
And he hates himself.
Wow, way to assume.
I think it's a fact, not even an assumption.
Okay, well,
But anyway, let's fucking
Wow.
end this shit.
All right.
okay.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Peace.